The 1909 No Mint Mark Wheat Mini is not just a copper coin, it's a gateway into the origins of one of the most iconic coin series in American numismatic history. As the first year of the Lincoln Wheat Cent, 1909 marks a monumental turning point. In U.S. coinage, when President Theodore Roosevelt's renaissance of American currency culminated in the first circulating coin to bear a real person's portrait. Prior to this, U.S. coins only carried allegorical figures like liberty. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB famously stirred controversy when they appeared too prominently on the reverse in some early 1909 issues. However, the 1909 No Mint Mark version struck in Philadelphia lacks these initials, making it distinct from its VDB counterpart and adding a layer of intrigue to its collectability. Struck without a mint mark, the 1909 Lincoln Wheat Cent still commands a strong presence in the collector world due to its historical significance and the relative scarcity of high-quality specimens. Composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, this coin features a classic bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, facing right with the inscriptions "In God We Trust." Liberty and the date 1909 arranged around the design. On the reverse, the words 1 cent and United States of America are flanked by 2 wheat stalks, giving the coin its beloved nickname, Wheat Penny. Above that rests the Latin motto E pluribus unum. What truly makes the 1909 No Mint Mark Wheat Penny special is its role in history. It was the beginning of a legacy that would run until 1958 for the wheat design and continues today in the Lincoln Cent series. Although more than 72 million of these coins were minted in Philadelphia, high-grade examples that remain uncirculated or have exceptional luster are surprisingly rare. Due to this, collectors are willing to pay top dollar, especially for those certified by NGC or PCGS in mint state conditions. Even worn circulated examples carry value. But it's the pristine pieces that fetch prices upwards of $1,200 in today's collector market. The value climbs further if the coin has retained its original red copper coloring, designated as road in grading terms, which is especially rare for coins over a century old. Coins graded MS65 or higher by PCGS can even surpass this value range. The story of the 1909 No Mint Mark Penny is often compared to its rarer sibling, the 1909 SVDB, which steals headlines with its astronomical prices. But the Philadelphia issue holds its ground as a staple in every serious Lincoln Cent collection. Furthermore, 1909 saw the transition from the Indian Head Cent to the Lincoln Cent, making it a key date that represents the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. This dual heritage adds even more value in the eyes of historians and collectors. In addition to its monetary value, the 1909 Lincoln Wheat Penny stands as a symbol of patriotism and respect for one of America's greatest presidents. Many collectors consider it their gateway coin, sparking a lifelong passion for numismatics. Over the years, this coin has also been featured in major auctions and fetched impressive premiums based on condition and provenance. Some examples: with attractive toning, full wheat stock details, strong strike quality, become conversation pieces and museum-worthy items. The absence of the mint mark may make it seem ordinary at first glance, but this coin's beauty lies in its subtlety and historical roots. Notably, 1909 was the centennial of Lincoln's birth, adding another layer of significance to the coin's release. This was also the first time the U.S. Mint issued a commemorative style, circulating coin, a practice that would become more common in later years. With the rise in popularity of coin collecting in the digital age, social media influencers and YouTubers have showcased the 1909 penny and coin roll hunting videos, increasing its visibility among younger collectors. Its story continues to inspire both beginners and seasoned numismatists. In today's numismatic market, coins like the 1909 No Mint Mark Wheat Penny are becoming harder to find in top condition. Many of these coins were spent into circulation for decades, exposed to elements, and lost their luster. That's why original uncirculated rolls or carefully stored examples are prized at coin shows and auctions. Some coin hunters have even stumbled upon this gem in old family coin jars or estate sales, unaware of the hidden value. Its appearance may not scream valuable, but for those who know its history and design intricacies, it's a treasure worth holding. If you happen to come across one, examine it for signs of authenticity, sharp strike, and color tone. Trip to a coin dealer or a reputable grading service could turn your pocket change into serious money. This coin is a beautiful reminder that sometimes history sits quietly in the palm of your hand. Next up, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny, struck at the San Francisco Mint, stands as one of the most captivating coins of the mid-20th century, not merely because of its wartime origins, but also due to its collector value. Today can reach up to $1,500 depending on condition and grading. This coin is part of the iconic Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958 and has since become one of the most collected and studied series in U.S. numismatics. What makes the 1944 version particularly interesting is its connection to World War II. In 1943, the U.S. Mint had temporarily switched to a zinc-coated steel composition to conserve copper for the war effort. By 1944, however, the Mint returned to copper-based coinage. Using leftover shell casings from military ammunition to produce the pennies, making 1944 coins part of a historically symbolic transition. The S-Mint mark under the date signifies its origin from the San Francisco Mint, and while millions were produced, collectors still treasure these coins for their solid copper composition and wartime backstory. The obverse of the coin features Abraham Lincoln, facing right with the inscription "In God We Trust" above, Liberty on the left, and the date 1944 on the right. On the reverse, the iconic two wheat ears surround the words "1 cent along." With the inscriptions "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum" across the top, these wheat ears are not just decorative. They symbolize American agriculture and strength. A fitting theme for a coin produced during a time of national resilience. While many 1944s, wheat pennies are common in circulated condition and may fetch between 5 to 20 cents, the true value lies in those that are in uncirculated, mint state condition MS65 and above. Coins graded by NGC or PCGS with high grades can command $500 to $1,500 or more at auctions. What pushes the price up further are coins that exhibit exceptional red luster designated as road, flawless strikes or minting errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet defects. These variations make each coin unique and more desirable in the eyes of serious collectors. Over the years, demand for the 1944 wheat penny has remained strong due to its accessibility for beginner collectors and its potential high-end value. For advanced numismatists, coin shows, online marketplaces, and auction houses often feature high-grade examples of the 1944, and values can spike significantly based on recent sales data and collector interest. This coin is frequently included in Lincoln Cent albums, and its historical relevance makes it a key date for completing a full set. In recent years, prices for well-preserved examples have steadily climbed, especially for coins with certified grades above MS65 road, as they are now seen as a smart investment in the numismatic market. Coins with brilliant red color, sharp details, no visible wear are increasingly hard to find, adding to their desirability. In some cases, error coins from the 1944 series such as doubled dies or repunched mint marks RPMs can reach even higher premiums, with collectors willing to pay thousands of dollars for rare anomalies. To conclude, the 1944 wheat penny is much more than a simple copper coin. It's a piece of American history, minted during a pivotal time in world affairs, made from wartime materials and cherished for its iconic design. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone going through old change, spotting a 1944 penny in excellent condition could mean you're holding a small but significant piece of the past one that could be worth as much as $1,500 or more today. Next up, the 1993 Lincoln Memorial Penny, without a mint mark, is one of those fascinating coins that often go unnoticed in daily pocket change but can possess significant value under the right circumstances. Issued by the United States Mint in a year that didn't appear particularly noteworthy in numismatic history, The 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln cent has quietly earned a place among coins that collectors actively seek, especially those in pristine, uncirculated condition, or those with notable errors. The absence of a mint mark on this coin indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on Lincoln cents during this time. At first glance, it may seem like just another modern penny, but when studied more closely, the coin reveals key design elements, metallurgical significance, and surprising collector demand that can push its market value up to $900 in top-graded conditions by agencies such as NGC or PCGS. To truly understand the 1993 Lincoln penny, one must go back to the origin of the Lincoln cent itself. First introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln penny replaced the Indian head cent and marked a historical shift in U.S. coinage. It was the first time a real person, specifically a U.S. president, had appeared on regular issue American currency. The obverse of the coin, designed by Victor David Brenner, features a right-facing profile of Lincoln, a portrait that has endured for over a century with only minor modifications. By 1993, this design had long been a familiar sight, yet it still held symbolic significance, representing unity, patriotism, historical legacy. The reverse of the coin in 1993 showcased the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to replace the wheat ears seen on earlier versions, created by Frank Gasparro. This reverse design depicts the iconic Washington, D.C. structure where Lincoln's statue sits majestically inside. A tiny detail that numismatists often appreciate is the faint image of the seated Lincoln visible between the columns, an incredible feat of miniature engraving. The inscription "United States of America" curves along the top rim of the reverse, while the motto "E pluribus unum" out of many, one sits just above the memorial. Beneath the building lies the coin's denomination, 1 cent. In terms of composition, the 1993 penny belongs to the post-1982 generation of Lincoln cents, which were struck in a core of 99.2% zinc and coated with 0.8% copper. This composition, far lighter and cheaper than the bronze alloy used in earlier years, was introduced to reduce minting costs during the 1980s. However, it also meant that the newer pennies were more prone to wear, corrosion, and even damage. This makes high-grade examples of 1993 cents all the more difficult to find today, especially those that have remained untouched and uncirculated for more than 30 years. Coin collectors highly value such specimens, particularly if they are graded Ms. 67 or above by a reputable third party grading service like PCGS or NGC. Coins in this state can command prices up to $900, especially when found with deep red road toning or with full strike characteristics. The value of the 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is not only determined by its condition, but also by a handful of unique mint errors that emerged during that year's production. Among these are off-center strikes, double die versus DDO, bubbled plating, and even die cracks or rim cuts. These errors, although relatively rare, significantly boost the value of any Lincoln cent. For example, a 1993 cent with a visible doubling in the date or in the Liberty inscription can attract bids from enthusiastic error coin collectors willing to pay hundreds of and thousands depending on the magnitude and rarity of the error. Such coins, when authenticated and certified by PCGS or NGC, have been known to appear at online auctions like eBay or Heritage, numismatic platforms with final selling prices that far exceed the base value of regular issue cents. It's also worth noting the broader numismatic context of the early 1990s. Coin collecting was seeing a modest resurgence in the United States during this period. Baby boomers were aging into hobbyist demographics, and the U.S. Mint's increasing public outreach made coin collecting more accessible. As a result, more collectors began paying attention to seemingly modern coins that had, until then, been ignored. The 1993 Lincoln cent became part of this trend. Collectors who gathered rolls of uncirculated pennies or mint sets began discovering that even coins from the 90s could harbor exceptional value if well preserved. or unusual. Another factor that contributes to the penny's value is its grading. Coins graded as MS65 or MS66 can be fairly common. But once a coin hits the MS67 or MS68's threshold, the population dwindles significantly. The 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, MS67RD coins are scarce, and MS68RD examples are extremely rare. The coin's luster, strike quality, absence of contact marks, and eye appeal are all assessed by professional graders to determine this rating. Even small blemishes or dull luster can knock the coin down a tier, affecting value by hundreds of dollars. Therefore, collectors are always hunting for the sharpest, cleanest. In most visually appealing examples, they can find those few elite coins capable of reaching $900 or more at auction. In terms of availability, circulation strike 1993 Lincoln cents are still common in pocket change, but locating one in truly uncirculated condition, especially in high mint state, is a genuine challenge. Most of these coins have been subjected to circulation and general wear and tear, from shopping carts to vending machines. Finding a high-grade coin in a mint set or an original bank-wrapped roll from 1993 is rare and increasingly difficult as time passes. The few that remain untouched, stored under ideal conditions, have now become prized collectibles. Lastly, the sentimental value attached to Lincoln cents should not be overlooked. Many Americans associate these coins with childhood piggy banks, first allowances, and small everyday purchases. This emotional attachment, combined with the rising interest in modern coin errors and high-grade rarities, has kept demand strong for Lincoln penny sin, including the 1993 no-mint mark issue. With more collectors entering the market every year, especially younger enthusiasts drawn by the prospect of finding hidden treasures in everyday change, the future for coins like this one remains bright. In conclusion, the 1993 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark is far more than just a common copper-plated zinc coin. Its historical lineage, iconic design, rarity and high grades, and presence of mint errors all contribute to its growing popularity among numismatists. While most may still overlook it as just another penny, seasoned collectors and grading experts know its hidden potential. If you're lucky enough to possess one in exceptional condition free of nicks, vibrant in color, and certified by a top-tier grading company, it could be worth up to $900 or more in today's collector market. So next time you glance at a seemingly ordinary penny from the 1990s, take a closer look, because what you're holding might just be a small piece of American history, and a not-so-small fortune in the making. Next up, the 1990 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny might appear as an ordinary 1-cent coin to the untrained eye. But beneath its copper-plated surface lies a hidden story of scarcity, design transition, and numismatic intrigue that has elevated its collector value to an impressive $500 in today's rare coin market. At first glance, this coin showcases the familiar obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. This iconic image has endured for decades, but the 1990 penny has a subtle yet significant detail that sets it apart: the absence of a mint mark. While Philadelphia minted coins typically had no mint mark in earlier years, the 1990 penny was supposed to include a P mint mark due to a transition in minting standards during this era. However, a small number of 1990 pennies were mistakenly struck without this identifying letter, making them extremely desirable among collectors. What adds to the coin's mystery is that these no-mint mark 1990 Lincoln pennies were struck on high-quality dies intended for proof coinage. Proof coins are usually minted in limited quantities with sharp detail and mirror-like surfaces, designed specifically for collectors rather than general circulation. However, some proof coins were accidentally struck without the S-mint mark. For San Francisco and were distributed in regular proof sets. This rare era 1990 proof Lincoln sent without an S mint marquee is one of the most sought-after versions of this coin, the auction prices reaching well above $3,000 for top-grade specimens. In contrast, the more commonly circulated 1990 penny without a mint mark, while less valuable than its proof error counterpart, still commands respect and recognition when found in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially if it's verified by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC. The reverse of the coin is no less symbolic. It features the Lincoln Memorial, a structure that echoes the reverence Americans hold for Lincoln's leadership and sacrifice. Introduced in 1959 and continuing through 2008, its reverse design was sculpted by Frank Gasparo and includes tiny yet visible details like the statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial. The precision and artistry of this design elevated the visual appeal of the penny, and the 1990 version is no exception. However, because billions of Lincoln Memorial cents were struck during this period, most are worth only face value. It is the rare anomalies like missing mint marks, doubled dies, off-center strikes, and uncirculated conditions that give certain specimens their elevated status in the SP numismatic community. The coin's composition is another element to consider. Made of copper-plated zinc since 1982, the 1990 Lincoln penny has a core of 97.5% zinc and a surface layer of 2.5% copper, a shift from the pre-1980 to all-copper composition. This change was introduced to cut production costs as copper prices soared. In the late 20th century, collectors who study this transition often seek 1990 examples that display unusual wear patterns, planchette errors, or striking anomalies due to the bonding challenges between zinc and copper. Some rare specimens may even exhibit blistering, die cracks, or lamination errors, which can increase their market value further depending on the severity and visibility of the imperfection. Grading plays a pivotal role in establishing the true worth of a 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services can fetch significantly more than their circulated counterparts. For example, a flawless example in MS-67 red condition might be valued at several $100s or more, especially if sold at auction. Demand is driven by a mix of factors: the coin's condition, eye appeal, and any accompanying errors or varieties. As digital platforms like eBay and heritage auctions continue to connect collectors worldwide, rare and well-preserved 1990 Lincoln pennies are increasingly being discovered and sold for premium prices, in addition to minting errors. 1990 was a fascinating year for us coinage in general. It marked a transitional period as the U.S. Mint began adopting advanced die polishing and quality control techniques. This resulted in cleaner strikes and sharper features on newer coins. Yet, as always in minting, human error or mechanical mishaps occasionally slipped through, resulting in fascinating coin varieties. In the case of the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny, its appeal lies in both its intentional artistry and its unintentional quirks. Collectors often include this coin as part of a full Lincoln set spanning from 1909 to present day. For these collectors, securing a clean, well-preserved 1990 no mint mark penny is essential, not only because of its error potential, but also because of its role in the historical lineage of America's longest-running coin series. It's also a teaching moment for new numismatists, a reminder that even modern pennies can harbor significant value if examined closely and preserved well. Many people unknowingly have these rare gems sitting in jars or drawers, never realizing that their spare change could be worth hundreds of dollars. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1990 Lincoln penny that looks unusually sharp or lacks a mint mark, don't rush to spend it. Instead, take a closer look under magnification. Examine the surface quality, strike strength, and overall luster. If the coin appears to be a proof or has no wear, consider submitting it for grading. It might just be one of the few rare no mint mark coins from that year, and one that could sell for as much as $500 or more, depending on its grade and demand. The thrill of finding such a coin in everyday circulation is part of what keeps the hobby of coin collecting so vibrant. In conclusion, the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny is a perfect example of how a simple cent can evolve into a numismatic treasure through a combination of design, rarity, and collector interest. Its intriguing error history, connection to transitional minting practices, an iconic portrayal of Lincoln, all contribute to its rising value. With a market price reaching up to $500 today, this coin serves as both a historical artifact and a reminder to always check your pocket change. You never know what forgotten value may be hiding there. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, the 1990 no-mint mark penny is a coin worth hunting for and a story worth telling. Next up, the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial cent struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Traditionally omitted mint marks on cents during this era might look like an everyday copper-plated coin you'd breeze past in pocket change. Yet, in top certified mint state grades, especially blazing red pieces at MS67 and above, and with eye-catching strike quality or dramatic mint errors, it can reach market values up to $800, transforming a seemingly common modern cent into a serious collector prize. To understand why, you have to see how condition rarity, plotting era quirks, and a fiercely competitive Lincoln registry market collide around this late 80s date. The coin carries the enduring Victor David Brenner portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the Obversa design first introduced in 1909 to mark the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and still one of the longest-running motifs in U.S. numismatics, framed by Liberty at left. The national motto, "In God We Trust," arching above, and the date 1989 at lower right with no mint mark. The quiet tell that it's a Philadelphia strike? Flip it over, and you encounter Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial reverse, used from 1959 to 2008, complete with the tiny, often overlooked silhouette of Lincoln's seated statue visible between the central columns, all anchored by E pluribus, an overhead and 1 cent United States of America, Bologna, iconic back that bridged America's mid-20th century optimism straight into the cusp of the internet age. By 1989, the mint had long since abandoned the pre-1980 to 95% copper alloy and was striking cents on zinc. Cores plated with copper 2.5% Cu over 97.5% Zn. A cost-saving change that accidentally birthed a whole new class of collectible diagnostics. Plating blisters, peeling bubbles, and occasional lamination-like flaws. Plus weak strikes and die, deterioration doubling that can trick beginners, meaning the truly superb 1989 Philly cent. With satiny or blazing red luster, minimal surface hits, no carbon spotting, crisp details in Lincoln's beard and hair, and a bold, fully legible memorial is much harder to locate than the mintage totals in the billions would make you believe. That is the core of the $800 story. Population rarity at the top. While circulated 1989 cents and, even most raw, uncirculated examples, are worth only face value to a couple dollars. The tiny number of coins that survive in PCGS, NG, C-certified MS67 road or better, can spark bidding wars as registry collectors compete to push their set rankings higher. Throw in a CAC sticker for premium eye appeal, and suddenly the price curve gets even steeper. Beyond top-grade business strikes, errors and varieties are the second engine of value, though 1989 isn't famous for a marquee double die like 1955, 1972, or 1995. Dedicated hunters still chase off center strikes, especially dramatic ones preserving a full date. Broad strikes, cuds retained or full. Die cracks running through letters or Lincoln's bust. Struck through debris events that leave distinctive impressions. In various RPMMD repunched mint mark machine doubling lookalikes, noting that on a 1989 Philly cent, a true RPM isn't applicable because there's no mint mark, but collectors use RPM loosely. The point remains: bold, eye-visible mint errors plus high grade equals big premiums. Meanwhile, proof coin drama that electrified 1990, the famous nose proof cent, doesn't apply in 1989. Yet the legend of modern no-mint mark proofs and rare late 20th century oddities keeps collectors scrutinizing 1980s 90 cents more closely than ever, and that broader attention spills value onto high-end 1989 Philadelphia pieces. For context, grading language matters. Road red is king for post-1930 copper. or B red-brown trails it, and BN brown lags far behind. The difference between road and RB can be hundreds of dollars at MS66, MS67 levels, so coins stored carefully away. From PVC flips, humidity, and skin oils stand a far better chance of landing those elite designations. Eye appeal is where the tug-of-war plays out. Blazing cartwheel luster, clean fields, sharply defined ear, beard, and hair. And a crisp memorial with fully separated lines in the steps and windows can ignite registry competition. Conversely, in a technically high-grade coin with dull luster or distracting spots can languish well below the $800 ceiling. The late 1980s also form a sweet spot for generational, nostalgia collectors who grew up spending these cents or now revisiting them with deeper pockets, while YouTube channels, TikTok shorts, and social media pages relentlessly spotlight ordinary dates with extraordinary grades or wild errors, feeding a feedback loop of discovery and demand that online visibility channels bidders toward auction houses like Heritage, Stack's Bowers, and platforms like eBay, where certified pop-top 1989 Philadelphia cents reliably outperform raw lookalikes. No, remember, not all doubling is. Equal mechanical or die deterioration doubling is common on late memorial cents and usually adds no value, so serious collectors insist on true hub doubling clear. Separated spreads on devices, letters verified by specialists, or respected. Attribution guides. Without that, the market won't pay. As for population reports, they tend to show a cliff at MS67 Road. With MS68 nearly non-existent, teach extra grade point or plus sign is exponential money, which is why careful pre-screening under 5 to 10x magnification, consistent lighting, and comparison against certified examples are essential before submitting to PCGSNGC. Another subtle driver, toning. While most modern Lincoln cent buyers prefer blazing red, attractive original rainbow or gold, purple peripheral toning, not. Artificial heat or chemical toning can sometimes command a premium if the market loves the look. Still, the mainstream price ceiling for 1989 Philly is mostly tied to vivid red, fresh, spot-free coins. From an investment standpoint, will $800 hold or grow? For true pop-top coins, yes, because populations at the apex of the grade pyramid almost never rise dramatically. It takes another miracle roll find or a stash of mint sets with gem survivors. And registry set demand has only broadened. However, mid-grade mint state coins, MS63, MS65, will likely stay modest. So the play is top pop or dramatic errors. Practically, collectors hunting for the $800 payday should target sealed U.S. mint sets from 1989. Bank-wrapped rolls with proven, original sourcing or estate hoards stored under ideal conditions. Raw eBay buys can be a minefield of overgraded or spotty coins, so conservative grading eyes and trusted dealers are your best friends. In short, the 1989 No Mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Cent is the perfect reminder that common date does not mean common value when a coin checks every box. Ultra gem grade. Full blazing red color, minimal marks, sharp strike, possibly a standout mint error. It transcends its massive mintage and becomes a four-figure contender in waiting. With $800, a realistic benchmark for the very finest survivors. For content creators and educators, it's also a fantastic teaching coin. It illustrates the copper 2 zinc composition shift, shows how late-date memorial cents can still be scarce at the top of the grading ladder, and proves that careful, methodical searching plus professional certification can turn 1 cent into a serious collectible. So if you're building a Lincoln set, chasing registry rankings, or just combing through old jars for sleepers, don't ignore 1989 Philly. Beneath that ordinary, no mint mark face lies a modern classic whose true value only appears under bright light, high magnification, and the strictest grading standards, and when it does, the market is ready to pay. I prefer this response. Next up, the 1985D Lincoln Memorial Penny is a coin that may appear ordinary at first glance, but for collectors and numismatic enthusiasts, it carries subtle characteristics and historical relevance that give it value beyond its face. Minted at the Denver Mint, This penny bears the iconic D mint mark located beneath the date on the obverse. What distinguishes this coin from many others in the Lincoln Memorial series is not only its age and minting precision, but also the emerging collector interest in late 20th century Lincoln cents that are in exceptional condition or exhibit unusual die characteristics. The obverse of the 1985 D penny features the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln, a design originally created by Victor David Brenner in 1909. The detail in the portrait, the sharpness of Lincoln's jawline, and the precision in the lettering all contribute to a coin's overall grade and appeal. Coins that maintain their original luster with minimal wear or blemishes, especially those certified as MS-67 or higher by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC, are becoming increasingly desirable in the market. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands proudly, with the initials of designer Frank Gespro subtly etched beneath. Even though this design was widely circulated between 1959 and 2008, minor variations in strike quality, die alignment, and planchette integrity can make certain coins far more valuable. What elevates the 1985 D? Lincoln penny's status is its condition and potential for hidden errors. Some 1985 D cents have been found with die cracks, off-center strikes, or doubling in the date or lettering, adding considerable value. Collectors often scrutinize this coin under magnification to search for signs of doubling, particularly on Liberty and In God We Trust. If such anomalies are detected and verified, these error coins can sell for hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars at auction. Another key factor contributing to its $300 market value is its historical context. The 1980s were a transitional time in U.S. minting. The U.S. Mint shifted away from the copper composition to primarily zinc. Planchettes coated in copper starting in 1982. Therefore, the 1985 D penny consists of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This composition, while cost-effective for the mint, makes the coin susceptible to corrosion and damage. Thus, well-preserved examples from this period are considered premium finds, particularly when stored properly or pulled early from circulation. Demand for Lincoln Memorial, pennies is surging, especially as younger collectors enter the market with new technologies. It's like online auctions and coin apps to help identify rare variations. Coins like the 1985 D are often overlooked in pocket change. Yet their scarcity and high-grade condition creates an undercurrent of growing demand. The allure lies in the thrill of discovery that an everyday coin might fetch $300 or more because of pristine condition or an unnoticed minting error. Auction records support this value, with multiple 1985 D Lincoln Memorial pennies graded at MS-67, red selling for over $200, $300. While most circulated examples are worth face value, those kept in coin flips or original rolls often retain sharp detail and brilliant red luster. In fact, red-toned coins, those that show no oxidation or discoloration, are among the most coveted. The red, brown. And brown designations by grading services help collectors identify how much of the original copper luster remains. 4. Coin dealers and advanced collectors. The 1985 D penny also serves as a benchmark when evaluating other Lincoln Memorial cents of the 1980s. The Denver Mint, known for its high coin output, often produced coins with better strike quality than Philadelphia during that era. Thus, Denver Mint coins in high condition from the mid-1980s are becoming a niche of interest. There's also growing interest in complete Lincoln Memorial sets in high grade. Completing such a set from 1959 to 2008 with each coin in MS condition is a long-term but rewarding challenge. The 1985 D is often one of the more difficult coins to find in perfect condition due to its high circulation numbers and metal composition, which doesn't age well if exposed to moisture or improper storage. That makes finding an MS-67 red version even more satisfying and valuable. Educational platforms. YouTube numismatic channels and social media collectors are increasingly bringing attention to overlooked coins, like the 1985 D penny. These platforms highlight stories of lucky finders who discovered high-grade or error versions in inherited collections, bankrolls, or even pocket change. With modern grading services and a growing community of coin lovers, even pennies once deemed common can now be seen as hidden gems. Numismatic experts often remind newcomers that the real value lies in the coin's details, the alignment, luster, strike sharpness, and any visible anomalies. The 1985 D penny's $300 value isn't solely based on its AGDs, based on its condition, scarcity and high grades, demand, and any unique minting traits that set it apart. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your coin journey, this coin represents the idea that treasure can be found in the most unexpected places. In conclusion, it's the 1985D Lincoln Memorial Penny, with a modest face value of 1 cent, embodies a surprising blend of accessibility and potential. Its $300 market value in pristine condition is driven by a combination of minting quality, collector interest, and the increasing appreciation for modern-era numismatics. While millions were minted, only a small fraction survived in exceptional condition, and even fewer exhibit notable errors. This makes the